the Joker's muse, Kitty. I already hate this because it starts out with the first chapter being called The Seed. And,
No!
And anything being involved, like, with the Joker and his seed is something I would rather be very far away from.
It all started as a seed.
Oh, God. Alright, so we got wall text in italics. You know that means...
Oh my god, that's so great.
No, it's not. For as long as I can remember, the Joker and Harley have always been in the news for their non-stop crimes, and all of which were orchestrated carefully by the Joker himself. Despite being a wanted criminal mastermind, the Clown Prince never shied away from making big spectacles or organizing risky heists.
Okay, real quick question.
Alright.
How long has the Joker existed in, like, the DC movie universe now?
The movie universe? I have no idea.
Because I think they said Batman's supposed to have been around 10 years?
Oh, are you talking about the new one with the Ben Affleck?
Yeah, like the...
Yeah, I don't remember, actually.
I want to say, like, 10 years. So it's as long as she can remember.
She was 10 years old. Attractive. With his trusty sidekick Harley Quinn to aid him, he always managed to escape unscathed. He was always more cunning and intelligent than the rest of his fellow criminals, and that was the thin line that separated him. A true narcissist with a genius mind, it seemed anyone as charismatic as him could get whatever he desired. Except one night, after breaking the Joker out of Arkham Asylum, he discovered that Harley had been seeing someone else in his absence. This is the most generic opening I've ever read. It's great. Her unwavering loyalty had been stolen by the bewitching Poison Ivy. Gay.
Those damn gays.
With that, she was gone like the wind, leaving the Joker to laugh hysterically all by himself. Okay, but honestly, would you leave the Joker for Poison Ivy?
Who wouldn't?
Exactly. This is breaking news with our top story tonight. It seems the Joker has gone over the top this time. This time. Yeah, it's not like he's killed people before, but okay.
Would the news say over the top? That just sounds weird.
Yeah. As this is his second bank robbery within a month, said a news reporter.
All in all, that seems pretty tame.
What could be worse than him robbing one bank, robbing two banks?
Not like...
Fucking capitalism. Yeah, let's just forget the people he's killed, but, you know, whatever.
He hasn't murdered people or anything before.
Located in the heart of the city, police have surrounded the National Bank of Gotham in an attempt to control the situation. It's reported by witnesses that the Joker managed to enter the bank unrecognized, wearing a silicone mask before pulling a gun out and killing a banker.
Okay, there's no way you could just... Like, if you walk towards a bank in a mask, people are going to be calling the police immediately. And this is, like, a big city. It's not, like...
Also, like, why would people care whether or not you can recognize the Joker? They just need to know that the guy is like, fucking killing people?
Yeah.
Still no sign of Batman. Footage of the Joker came onto screen wearing an all-black attire and pointing his handgun. He peeled the flesh-toned mask off his face to reveal the white, clownish complexion beneath. His saturated green hair disheveled as he did. After taking a single shot at the banker, he grinned his menacing, deep red painted smile, aimed at the camera, and shot again. The footage ended. Wow, please give me more of that stuff you've seen in every movie ever. We have Sarah Smith live on the scene. Sarah, please tell us what's going on down there. She's definitely the protagonist.
Well, duh.
Sarah Smith.
That sounds so dumb.
Do you remember Rick and Morty, just like that episode where they go to couples therapy and just, I'll save you, or my name's not Jerry Smith.
Oh,
and
God!
She just starts cloning a bunch of him with a picture of himself on t-shirts. It cut to a young brunette standing in front of the bank, a strip of yellow police tape behind her, and a corner of the structure engulfed in flames. Wait, where the fuck are the flames coming from?
He just lighted on fire while he's inside it.
That seemed like that would have been important to notice. Like, Oh, yeah, also, he set the burning on fucking fire.
The morning on fire, he set it on fire.
The sound of sirens echoed in the background as she spoke into her microphone. Yes, Michael, we are seeing what used to be Gotham National Bank. Is it no longer Gotham National Bank?
It's on fire, it doesn't count anymore.
The moment a banker walks in, it's no longer a bank. It's a charity, I guess. Now, it is not confirmed what started the flames, but witnesses have reported hearing loud explosions. At this point, the Joker is still inside the bank as gunfires can be heard right now. SWAT would be there in a fucking instant.
Is he just, like, spraying the walls? Because they're implying that he hasn't really shot too many people yet. So is he just, like, shooting at the walls?
One question still remains. Where is Batman? That's all we have for now, folks. This is Sarah Smith reporting live. Back to you, Michael. God, and now I just think of Pikel.
Why?
Because there's the Rick and Morty thing, like, joke earlier, and now there's this, and I like how I say earlier when it was, like, 45 seconds ago. It was 10 p.m., and I was sitting in the dining room alone with the TV on. Well, I guess we were wrong.
Oh, yeah, she wasn't. But at the same time, it's weird how much it just jumps to first person after being third person for so long.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I guess we should have saw it coming. Well, who would name their protagonist Smith?
What is her name?
So far, there's nothing, but I remember that the Joker's Muse Kitty is the title, and if she goes by Kitty, I'll lose my shit.
I will only think of the mom from that 70s show, and that sounds amazing.
Oh my god, I love her.
The mom from that 70s show seduces the Joker.
Hey there, big boy.
Why did you use that for her voice?
I don't know, it just felt like it would fit. There was a candlelit dinner, a half-empty bottle of wine, silverware, and fine china, but the roast beef was untouched and cold now. Dressed in date night attire with a full face of makeup, I sipped my wine sadly.
How do you sip wine sadly? Just
You don't sip it sadly, you chug it sadly. 7 years of marriage later, an estranged husband and no children, I finally began to grasp the situation. What the shit? Okay, at least she's not a teenager.
This has become a completely different story.
I mean, I want to know about your marital issues more than I care about the Joker now.
Like, this one from a Joker fanfic to Gone Girl.
My husband was having an affair. My youth had surpassed me, and his lust for a bright-eyed 20-something-year-old meant more than our vows.
Oh my god, this is exactly Gone Girl!
Holy shit, it is.
Like, if he's not a professor and that's not her student, it would be exactly Gone Girl if it is.
I gotta make you read Crying Lot of 49, because so far she is exactly the protagonist of that, named Oedipa. The one where where the first page starts out with, like, she lifted her head and pretended and tried really hard to feel drunk. I fucking love that book. Alright. Jay Stone is his name. He's a business magnate, a philanthropist who, in the beginning, was charming and caring. I was swept away with his charisma, and he with my beauty and youth. With him, anything and everything happened.
Okay, but, like, if she divorces him and she has proof that he's cheating, she could get a lot out of that.
I mean, I don't think that's what she's focusing on anything on here, but...
I know, but I'm just saying.
It started off with a whirlwind romance. Then we had a beautiful wedding in the south of France. Ooh, I love the south of France. Bought a large estate in a gated community and began traveling the world together.
Fucking bourgeois motherfuckers.
For JC didn't care if I had any brains, so long as I was a trophy wife. Well, that was quick.
You just called yourself so stupid.
He viewed women as a prized possession, which was why he seduced and tamed me to be the woman I am today. Okay, I'm kind of uncomfortable, but whatever. I
am way more interested in your marriage than the Joker plot right now.
From head to toe and everywhere in between, I define the perfect wife. Okay. I mean, alright, I guess I want to see what your idea of the perfect wife is then. All the details mattered too. Instead of just being a typical housewife of Gotham, I had something that the other women could not offer. I never lost sight of what was important. Are you saying other women don't lose sight of, like, they all lose sight of what's important? It was in the way I looked, the way I walked and carried myself, and yet they couldn't care less about what I had to say. And they would never know about the ways I took the beatings. What the shit? You focused on the affair before this?
According to you, the thing the other women don't have is that their husbands aren't physically abusive?
Oh my god, because my life was supposed to be a fairy tale, not a disgrace. The front door opened and closed. I heard his shoes tapping down the marbled hallway and up the staircase without a bother or mention of my name. Do you remember, the whitest kids you know skit? Just, I'm coming down the hallway!
No!
I think of that every time. I am almost to the door! I am to the door! I'm opening and here I am! The front door opened and closed. Below that. I sprang to my feet, my heels clicked behind me, determined to release my wrath. I found Jace at the foot of the stairs, buttoning his white collared shirt up and tightening his tie, which I took notice of. He was too tired to notice I had even approached him. His ash blonde hair was in a disheveled mess, not in its usual combed and slick style, and his face was tinged with a red flush. What do you want for her voice?
Oh my god. Oh, I'm trying to think. We should just... I want to make Joker whiny Will.
Oh my god, okay, I love it.
Okay, so she should be... I don't want her to be anything super shouty. Maybe just like... Smeagol? Okay, let's just make her Smeagol.
Oh my god. Where were you? You smell like vodka! I said, oh my god, he's rich and drunk, he's living the dream.
All he needs is an empty bottle of vodka, and he would be every stereotype of him.
He's literally a Stephen King villain so far.
He is.
He looked up at me and under his thick brows and smirked for some reason. Jace had a masculine face, straight and tall nose, and a strong jaw. His smile was an all-American boy smile that could easily make your heart flutter, but his body was the type that was built for mass leverage and exertion. He was tall and built with a strong, virile energy, and with broad shoulders, sculpted arms, and large hands that were always a little too rough, like they could almost strangle you to death. That was actually a pretty good description up to that last part. That just got weird.
Yeah. I get why it's there, but it does feel just like...
Yeah. I had a drink with some friends, he replied casually. Somehow I knew it was not quite that way. His fingers fumbled at his collar, unbuttoning his shirt and pulling his silver tie apart so it lay flat and draped around his thick neck. The bulking muscles underneath his clothing could be seen shifting as his arms moved. That sounds terrifying. That sounds some, like, Resident Evil, like, horror shit.
Like, if he flexed, they just go flying apart.
Getting physical with him was strictly out of the question for me. Wait, are you considering attacking him?
Yeah, she said that she was angry, so I assumed she was, like, ready to fight him.
All my fighting had to be done carefully. But Jace, I began, don't you remember what you said to me this morning? I'm sorry, sweetie, I don't recall. You said you'd be home for dinner. After all, it is our anniversary, and I made your favorite and even brought our favorite wine. Oh my god, you have a favorite wine? My favorite is literally just the one with the highest percentage.
Way to be trashy, Andrew.
Yeah. I'm not proud. I said it cautiously, a little frightened I would anger him as he was already intoxicated. But I felt betrayed by his submissive attitude towards me. I don't think it's submissive. I don't think you're using that word right.
No, you're really not.
I had been on the verge for days to confront him, but he had always been away on business trips or just busy. Jace smacked his forehead dramatically like he was forgetting something, his lips mouthing an O. Oh, that's right, he exclaimed sarcastically. It is our anniversary, and I did promise I'd be home for dinner. This is really uncomfortable to read.
It is.
Did you ever have to read Hemingway's like Hills Like White Elephants?
Yeah, the one where the ladies think about getting an abortion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is like the level of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Except it's more because it's bad style than it's a really, I don't know.
Uncomfortable and unhappy situation.
He took a few steps closer to me, encasing my shoulders in his large, warm hand. He had this uncanny way of transforming from a man to a demon. This is just really weird because, like, the dramatic, like, head slap and then just, like, grabs onto her shoulders, like, I don't know, this feels weird.
I don't think there's any way this can't be weird.
Oh my god, I know what he's reminding me of.
What?
Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
I was kind of thinking that a little bit.
Wendy, darling, light of my life. But you know what, sweetie? He said. I remained silent, peering up at him, hoping I wouldn't be at the end of his disdain tonight. Joy and Jace looked down at me, his eyes numb and distant, a contemptuous sneer forming on his face. He was a cruel smile. Devilish, possessed evil. The smirk turned to clenched teeth as his jaw tightened and he threw a hard slap across my face. Oh shit, dude. That, like, okay, is it just me or does that feel like it kind of came out of nowhere? Like, the implication is that it's not rare, but it still feels awkward, I guess, with all the other stuff that led up to it.
It's just like the random clunky, like, purple prose that are thrown in, and then, like, the way it's, like, all the exposition around it, that when it happens, it doesn't feel like it was actually built up to. It's like, this is a thing that happens. It happened.
Yeah. Like, you knew where this was going the moment it started out.
Well, the second she said the beating, because at that point,
Well, I knew
like, what the fuck?
Well, before then, even. The was a loud splitting or smacking sound when his hand came into contact with my face. The sudden blow winded me backwards, and I felt the cold floor soar underneath me. You are so intolerant. You don't tell me what to do. There. Now you have something to be upset about. As quickly as the turbulent emotions possessed him, they vanished in the same manner, leaving me abandoned on the floor like an unwanted pet. It was only a matter of time before he found me redundant and replaced me with someone else. I just didn't think he'd be so cruel. He continued up the staircase in an uncaring manner, leaving a trail of his clothes behind him. I heard him turn on the shower. The sound of running water seemed to match the scalding tears streaming down my face as I lay breathless on the cold white floor, blindly staring up into the cascading chandelier above me.
Well, there are times when I just can't make jokes about stuff, and this helps a little bit.
Yeah, this is gonna go on for a while.
Does it just keep going on about...
Eventually, like, there's 2 more paragraphs, and then it looks like it changes. Our house felt devoid of comfort, devoid of that warm, inviting feeling you get when you enter a place full of love and children.
Love and children.
I don't like the whole children thing. Like, that feels Joss Whedon-y. That's gonna be a new thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Despite the expensive furnishing and lavish decor, I found myself to be a stranger to my own home. Oh, okay, I know what the situation reminds me of that makes me uncomfortable. I don't know if you ever played it, but there was this early AI game. I can't remember the name of it, but you played as this, like, old friend of of this couple, and you would have been friends in college, apparently, and it was an early AI, like, game program, and so you could talk to them and, like, mess with the environment, and they would respond to it in different ways, and it was weird because your goal was to make it to the end, because you'd get thrown out so easily.
Yeah.
But, like, they would just start yelling at each other for no reason, and it was really weird. I had no will to leave, no more fight or dignity left. Jace had stripped me of my pride when he claimed me as his own, the same way you'd burn out a flame by dousing it with water. The light within me was far from extinguished, and I lay limp like a dead fish. It was far from extinguished. That's...
After you kind of implied that it was extinguished, and then you talk about just laying there.
The sharp silence of my solitude was disrupted by the sound of rapid gunshots. The TV was still on, airing the news report about the Joker and his latest heist. Feebly, I pulled myself off the floor and entered the kitchen where the TV was mounted above the granite countertop island. I watched the screen inquisitively. The Joker was on screen again with his head popped out of the window of a black van and a machine gun aimed at the police force. He shot back at them, the sound of popping bullets echoing through the screen.
God damn, they would open fire so fast on that.
How, holy shit, I would want to see someone take a machine gun against the police force and survive that. Dude, that's a lot of people who probably have better aim than you do. Well, okay, supervillain. You gotta forget that part. He had managed to make a clean getaway. How?
Because even if you're, in an armored vehicle or whatever, your tires are going to be fucked.
Is it like GTA and he just had to get out of the bubble? His sadistic laugh trailing behind. Oh my god, so you can still hear him, laughing as he's apparently, we don't know where he is.
I just imagine with a microphone so people can still hear him.
A megaphone just laughing. The reporter continued to narrate, scrambling to find the words. There he is, she exclaimed frantically. There's the Joker getting away. Where could he be? He's right there, but where could he be? It was a haunting laugh, hysterical and manic, and somehow it was the only thing that took my mind off my swelling lip. Author's note. Sometimes all it takes is a little push, or a little... Oh, sorry. I went back to the movie, sorry. Sometimes all it takes is a little distraction, a tweak in the plan, a little push. Okay, never mind, it is there.
Okay.
From the back. People devote themselves to things, desires, ideas, urges, even other people. When an unconscious mind is fed an idea, it can root itself and grow. Thanks, sophomore psychology student.